Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Unknown militants have attacked an oil pipeline operated by a local affiliate of Shell in Niger's restive Niger Delta region. Residents say the incident occurred at about 1 a.m. in the early hours of Sunday near Odimodi community in Delta State. Shell confirmed the attack, saying the line was closed for repairs. Meanwhile, no group has claimed responsibility for the incident, but suspicion falls on the Niger Delta Avengers, a group which has carried out similar attacks in the past. The Nigerian government says it is in negotiation with the group, but the militants have denied engaging in any talks with the Nigerian government. Recurring attacks by the militants have cut the country's crude production, which stood at 2.2 million barrels per day at the start of 2016 to around 700,000 barrels per day. Pilots of the Nigerian Air Force fighter jets have destroyed 4 major camps of suspected militants in Arekpo, Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. The operation was carried out on the armed pipeline vandals on the 4th day of the sustained aerial attacks on the hoodlums in the region. Director of Information and Public Relations of the Nigerian Air Force Base, Group Captain Ayodele Famuyiwa, said the Air Force was carrying out sustained operations against the vandals to prepare the stage for the ground troops to move in and get rid of the gunmen. Famuyiwa said the embattled militants were fleeing their fortress into the mangrove forest and were being monitored effectively by platforms deployed for the operation. Members of the Islamic movement in Niger say the report released by a panel on its clash with the Nigerian army is biased and full of distortions. A new report released by the Kaduna State government said the Shiite sect was responsible for last year's deadly clash with the Nigerian army. The judicial inquiry, however, recommended that an army general, Adeniyi Oyebade, and others who are members of the army be prosecuted for the killing of the Shia Muslims in Zaria, northern Kaduna State. According to the report, over 389 Shiite members were killed during the clash. Reacting to the report, spokesperson for the Shiite sect, Ibrahim Musa, said the failure of the commission to invite El Zakzaki, who is the leader of the group, to state his own side of the story during the sit-ins or visit him in his Abuja detention for the past 7 months now clearly shows that the panel was not fair to the movement from the beginning. He insisted that up to 800 of their members had gone missing since the day of the clashes and haven't been found till date. The army has said the Shiites had blocked its chief of staff, Lieutenant General Tukuburatai, and tried to unsuccessfully assassinate him, an allegation they have since denied. Meanwhile, the army is yet to comment on the latest report. The Nigerian government says it has supplied over 23,000 bags of assorted food items to IDPs in the northeast part of the country. The government intervention comes after the United Nations last week suspended humanitarian aid to Niger's northeastern region after its convoy was attacked by Boko Haram insurgents. The Vice President's media aide, Laolu Akonde, in a statement said the supplies were part of ongoing initiatives aimed at improving the plight of the internally displaced persons in areas ravaged by the Boko Haram insurgency. The statement added that over 2,000 bags of shelter supplies have also been provided to the internally displaced persons. The federal government has extended its timeline for the NPower online jobs and training applications till the end of August. The application process, which commenced on June 12, 2016, was initially built to close on July 25th. However, a spokesperson to the Vice President, Laolu Akonde, said the decision to extend the timeline was taken in order to pull in more qualified candidates and expand the opportunity base around and across the country. NPower is one of the initiatives of President Muhammad Buhari's social investment program designed to empower young Nigerians with lifelong skills to find or create work. International police says it has arrested a Nigerian man behind thousands of online scams around the world. The man, identified simply as Mike, was arrested in the southern oil city of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. According to the International Police Organization, the 40-year-old Nigerian is the head of a network of over 40 individuals behind global scams worth more than $60 million. He was arrested in a joint operation by Interpol and the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Abubakar Mahmood has been elected as the new president of the Nigerian Bar Association. He was elected at the 2016 national elections held in Abuja in an election conducted through e-voting. Announcing the results in the early hours of Monday, chairman of the NBA Electoral Committee, Ken Mozia, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, said both the first and second vice presidents emerged unopposed. Mahmood takes over from MBA's leadership from Augustine Alege, who is the 33rd president of the Nigerian Umbrella Association of Professional Lawyers. He is also a former Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Kano State. Former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation, Abdulmumun Jibrin, has reported budget padding scandal to Nigeria's major anti-corruption agencies. In a tweet he posted earlier today, Jibrin said he had instructed his lawyers to book appointments with several agencies so he could file his petition. Jibrin started slamming allegations of corruption against Dogara and other members of the House leadership when he was removed as the chairman of the Appropriations Committee last month. Last Wednesday, Dogara had given him 7 days to apologize for the allegations or face a lawsuit. But the legislature vowed not to apologize to Dogara, instead calling the speaker a shameless fraud. On Monday, Jibrin released more documents which he says will confirm his claims that some lawmakers manipulated line items in the 2016 budget. The new document also reveals how several lawmakers padded the 2016 budget. PDP chieftain Bode George has joined the race for the office of national chairman. Bode George declared his intention at the party secretariat on Monday while being cheered by his supporters. Our correspondent Tuji Olanikbekun now reports.
Party faithfuls waiting patiently at the PDP secretariat in Lagos to receive Chief Ola Bode George. The carnival-like atmosphere was spiced with singing and dancing as the man walked in. Bode George is here to declare his interest for the chairmanship post at the August 17 National Convention in Port Harcourt. The candidate wasted no time in addressing party members of what is expected of them.
This is not the time for experimentation and whistling in the dark. This is not the time for untested characters and newfound Mongols who are merely on a junketing spree. This is not the time for desperate time servers and little men without vision. Here and now, I am humbly making a stand and a declaration as an aspirant for the position of the office of the national chairman of our party.
Party stalwarts say there is no crisis within the party despite their differences and advise members to be steadfast in the pursuit of party unity.
Our unity must be firm. Our purpose must be strong. Our determination must be achievable. We all have a duty to be loyal to the party and the party authorities.
People also say that how is Bode going to carry out this leadership? Well, we need somebody like him because we need somebody who is steadfast, who is ready to fight for the party, who is ready to win for the party, who is ready to face this APC government.
Our great party is no longer recognizable today. A lot of distortions have set in. Indiscipline has eroded the foundations of all. Selfishness and greed have compromised the great idealism and the logical principles of our founding fathers. We lost the presidential election because we had lost faith in the goals and the standards that have been erected by our founding fathers.
The PDP convention is expected to hold this August with different court injunctions for and against it. Tunji Olanipe, TV360, Lagos.
Still on Niger's main opposition party, factional chairman of the PDP, Ali Modu Sheriff, has called on McCarthy-led faction of the party to accept his leadership in order to allow the party move forward. The leadership crisis in the party worsened last week when a federal high court in Abuja ordered that Sheriff be recognized as the authentic chairman of the PDP. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Sheriff maintained that he remains the party's authentic chairman and promised to settle the crisis in the party. He urged the McCarthy faction to rally around him for the sake of the party.
I want to use this medium to talk to all of you that we are not going to use vendetta, no. We want to carry everybody in the party. Please don't feel worried that Sheriff will victimize you. No. Politics is about people expressing their views. And our views are not always the views of others. That's why it is democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
That's correct.
And if all of us have the same opinion, then there will be no democracy. Therefore, nobody will victimize anybody. All members of our party, please, let's put our head together. Let's move forward. Let's carry the party together. McCarthy and his group should just leave and join the party. But McCarthy is he was a governor, he's a member of the BOT, so come back and contribute your quota in the BOT of the party. Don't, please, all of you that believe that you must do the wrong thing, for once, put that wrong thing aside and come back and do the right thing.
6 of the inmates who escaped from the Cotton Cafe prison in Kogi State have been recaptured. 13 prisoners escaped during the jailbreak on Saturday. The incident occurred at about 7 a.m. over the weekend. The inmates, according to a statement posted on Sunday by the prison service spokesman Francis Enoboro, comprise of 10 pretrial detainees and 3 convicts. He said that the 6 pretrial detainees were recaptured with the assistance of other security agencies and local vigilante groups, noting that they had been returned to the prison. Meanwhile, authorities have started investigating what may have led to the jailbreak. The Nigerian government is looking at ways to improve the lives of the vulnerable members of the society. Speaking to newsmen, advisor to the President of Social Safety and Investment, Mariam Uwais, said the government was working in collaboration with the Nigerian Orientation Agency to identify the less privileged in the society.
We're setting up mechanisms, but we're here in Abuja. We have teams. We have to use the structures of the state government, but we will need third-party monitors, and we will need the mobilization efforts at community from the NOA. They have structures on ground around the country. They speak the language, and ours is essentially a community outreach. We're hoping to support the poor and the vulnerable, people who are in need of loans, of jobs, and the NOA is there. We have to leverage on what is available to be able to achieve what is in the overall interests of our country.
Surely I'll say that the message that we had today from the SA to the President on social safety nets is very, very impactful on all of us as the National Orientation Agency. All we need to do now is to go back to our various states to ensure that we integrate ourselves in the scheme of things and ensure that the most vulnerable people in the society enjoys these social safety nets. I think our knowledge has been increased on the social safety nets of the federal government. You know, National Orientation Agency has a reach in all the local governments of the Federation. We have our officers in all the local governments and at the state level. So we use the foot soldiers of the agency to ensure that we enter the community. Our agency is a community-based agency, and this program is essentially for the community people. So we have the reach to get down to the grassroots people.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has withdrawn the list of recommended candidates for admission earlier sent to the tertiary institutions in the country. In a statement issued by Dr. Fabian Benjamin, the spokesperson for JAMB, the board said the decision was to ensure that universities perform their statutory responsibility of selecting candidates and referring them to JAMB for confirmation. This, JAMB stated, should be done in accordance with the admission criteria of merit, catchment area, and educationally disadvantaged states as directed by the Minister of Education, Adamu, during the policy committee meeting. We'll take a short break and we'll come back and look at business and international stories. Don't go away.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption
not in my country.
Oh, you know, go to your bank.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Nigeria's central bank sold dollars in a bid to boost dollar liquidity and support for the naira. Traders say the Apex Bank asked for quotes of $5 million each from currency traders. The naira opened at 3.15 to the dollar and weakened to 3.24 before the central bank intervened to help the currency close at 3.15 to the dollar. A total of $27.05 million traded on Monday. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest crude oil exporter, has cut all official selling prices for its crude sales to Asia and the United States clients in August, signaling mounting competition for Nigeria and other OPEC members. The country's state-owned oil company, Saudi Aramco, lowered the pricing terms for Arab Light sold to Asia by the most in 10 months as refineries grapple with falling margins and oversupply. The company said that it would sell cargoes of Arab Light in September at $1.10 a barrel below Asia's regional benchmark. Meanwhile, global oil prices fell on Monday as increases in OPEC production and U.S. oil rig additions continue to weigh on the market. Brent crude was down $43.09 per barrel, while U.S. crude was lower at $41.20 per barrel. French bank Societe Generale said the global oil market has shifted from massive oversupply to broadly balanced in the second half of this year and first half of next year. Analysts at the bank expect crude prices to bottom out in the high of $30 per barrel and should not return to lows of $26 per barrel seen in the first quarter of 2016. Militants set off 2 car bombs outside a police base in Somalia's capital before gunmen stormed inside on Sunday, leaving at least 10 people dead. This will be the second major operation in the city this week by Islamic group Al-Shabaab. The group has kept up a rebel war on the Western-backed government in the face of U.S. drone strikes and African peacekeeping forces. 5 people have been killed after a Russian military helicopter was shot down by rebels in northern Syria. Russian authorities confirmed the incident on Monday. The Mi-8 transporter came down in Idlib province. It was carrying 3 crew and 2 officers, Russian Defense Ministry has confirmed. The helicopter was returning from delivering humanitarian aid to the besieged city of Aleppo. Russia is a key backer of Syria's President Bashar al-Assad and is supporting pro-government forces with airstrikes on rebels. Government forces cut off rebel-held eastern part of Aleppo last month, but it is still not clear which group brought down the helicopter. Moving on to sports stories now, Niger's delegation to the 2016 Rio Olympic Games departed the country on Monday for the Brazilian capital ahead of the 27th Summer Olympic Games, which starts on August 6th. The country's delegation will be led by Super Eagles captain John Mikelobi, who was named as the captain of the Team Nigeria at the Rio 2016 Olympics by the Sports Ministry. The Chelsea midfielder will be assisted by female table tennis player Funke Oshonaike. Oshonaike will also act as the country's flag bearer during the opening ceremony on Saturday, August 6th. On Wednesday, August 3rd, Team Nigeria will be received by the mayor of Rio, Eduardo da Costa, and other dignitaries at the Games Village. Super Eagles captain John Mikelobi has been named captain of the Nigerian under-23 national team. The Chelsea midfielder, who will be appearing at his first Olympic Games as part of Samson Siasia's 18-man squad, also doubles as the captain of the Nigerian Olympic delegation to Rio. The 27th Summer Olympic Games starts in Rio on August 5th and will run till August 21st. The Dream Team 6 are in Group B of the Olympic football tournament alongside Sweden, Colombia, and Japan. The International Olympic Committee says a 3-person panel will have a final say on which Russian athletes can compete at the Rio Olympic Games. Last week, the IOC said individual sporting bodies must decide if Russian competitors are clean amid claims of state-sponsored doping. But now it has confirmed that the newly convened panel will decide whether to accept or reject that final proposal. More than 250 Russian athletes have so far been cleared to compete at the Games. Well, that's all we have on news now. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okoro.